Are you doing keto but miss carbs and want to discover a way to have your carbs and eat them too without gaining weight and burning even more fat? In this video, I'm going to introduce you to a breakthrough way of eating called Clean Keto Carb Cycling. Hello, my name is Lesya Holzapfel. I'm a nutritionist who helps professional women shed fat with the holistic clean keto and carb cycling lifestyle. This video is the first in a series about carb cycling, specifically clean keto carb cycling. I've been using this breakthrough way of eating with my clients for over a year now, and the results are nothing short of amazing. So I'm excited to share this with you today. So what is clean keto carb cycling? It is what it sounds like. It's combining a clean keto way of eating with carb cycling. If you don't know what clean keto is where you eat real whole foods, minimize dairy, and avoid processed foods and all the keto junk foods that are in the stores these days. I started keto in 2015, and after a few years of trial and error, I realized that the best way to not only lose weight, but to also improve health on a keto diet was to approach it in a holistic, clean way. Clean keto eating focuses on whole, real foods, getting into ketosis, and training your body to switch to using fat for fuel for energy instead of glucose. On the other hand, carb cycling is where you cycle carbs. So you have alternating between high carb days and low carb days, or even moderate carb days. There's so many ways to do it. You can cycle carbs daily, weekly, monthly, or even seasonally based on what your goals are and where you are on your journey. In my carb cycling coaching program, I teach women 10 different ways to cycle carbs. So you have many options when it comes to cycling carbs. Now, clean keto carb cycling is the combination of doing both. We're taking the power of clean keto, so the ability to burn fat as fuel, to have mental clarity, decrease appetite, and all the wonderful things that keto provides, but now we're combining it with carb cycling for other reasons. More on that in another video, so make sure to turn on notifications for when that comes out. And if you're getting value out of this video so far, please hit that like button and consider subscribing if this content resonates with you. Also, make sure to check out the description to download a clean keto carb cycling guide that I created for you to get started with keto carb cycling. Now, at this point, you might be wondering, what's the difference between regular carb cycling and this way of carb cycling? If you Googled carb cycling, you would find a lot of videos and information about it as it relates to the bodybuilder community and professional athletes. When I was researching carb cycling, when I started this experiment on myself a couple years ago, all the videos and information that I found on YouTube or on Google were from bodybuilders telling me to eat up to 300 to 400 grams of carbs a day on my high carb days. I almost had a heart attack because if you know anything about how fat loss works, you know how this can be problematic really fast. This type of carb cycling, where you ramp up your carbs super high, is going to cause your insulin to spike. We know that insulin is the fat storage hormone. The more insulin we have floating around in our blood, the more fat we will store. So what do you think is going to happen when you go from eating keto, around 20 grams of carbs, right, to carb cycling with up to 400 grams of carbs a day? You're going to blow up like a balloon. You're going to have a food baby and you're going to feel that carb hangover, and you want to avoid that. We have to be really strategic in the way that we cycle carbs. If you're an athlete or a bodybuilder listening to this, then you might get away with more carbs if you're competing right now or if you're training for a marathon. However, the women that I work with aren't professional bodybuilders. They're busy, high-achieving moms who are juggling their careers with home life. They are building businesses while raising kids. They don't have time to spend 5 hours a day in the gym, so their bodies don't need 300 to 400 grams of carbs that regular carb cycling gurus recommend. This is why clean keto carb cycling is so different from traditional carb cycling, because we still want to look at the bigger picture of how our body works and how our metabolism works as a female. You also need to know that food quality is so important, because with traditional carb cycling, you can pretty much eat any foods you want as long as it fits your macros. This is where clean keto carb cycling is different, because we're going to be very mindful about the number of carbs and the quality of carbs that we're consuming. We're going to be mindful of insulin levels and blood sugar. And if you've heard the term, if it fits your macros, I absolutely hate it because it's the worst way to approach weight loss and long-term health. right? We still need to be mindful of our delicate female hormones and the food we put into our bodies. With traditional carb cycling, you have a number to hit, and it doesn't matter if you're eating Twinkies and chips as long as you hit that number. That's different from how I teach clean keto carb cycling. Blood sugar matters, insulin matters, all your delicate female hormone matters. All of it still matters if you want to consider this a way of eating for you that's sustainable and healthy. Speaking of which, I have a resource for you if you're ready to dive deeper into this breakthrough way of eating for women. I created a guide that shows you how to cycle carbs with keto for faster fat loss. You can download it right now to get started. I'll leave the link in the description below. Now that you know exactly what clean keto carb cycling is, you might be wondering why the heck you would consider cycling carbs on keto. In the next video, I'm going to share 5 reasons you should cycle carbs on keto as a female. So make sure you go watch that next. See you there.